I'm assuming they'll put a little timer notification on your left-hand screen, letting you know maybe how long you get.
Yeah, yeah, like a little perk, yeah, or prompt. I mean,
Yeah. All right.
I would assume.
Now to the final.
I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause right here. I'm not running a stopwatch. Let me go get that in the other room. Also, before we start, I gotta look at my new grass.
You got a second one?
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
second one just now.
Nice. I need to get a couple more too.
This is the fucking week for it, guys. This is the week. We've been running
Yep.
this for like half hour.
Well, it's the difficulty and stuff too. I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to get a couple of them, at least one or two good ones.
I'm stoked that I got a legendary class item. So if Varix ever sells a T12, one again.
I need clock. Stopwatch.
Yeah, I kind of want to go try that Encore out in Crucible and just see what the time is on it.
Is
That's
it?
gonna be
But
fun when Mayhem comes back.
is it going to be
Yeah.
for that? Like, is it going to work on in Crucible? Because
hang on. Let me just and then ask that question again in like 5 seconds.
Well, wait, hold on. But like, before we sound stupid, because the way it has changed is then it's talking about being effective against the AI with the Arc Blade has been traditionally difficult, so we up the damage against those foes. And the Encore perk will now provide a significant damage boost if kills are chained together, and the Vanish and Showstopper upgrade should now have more utility. And then it
Okay,
goes in
alright.
to explain them changes.
3, 2, 1. So, do you guys think that the Encore perk will work in PvE or or in PvP, or do you think it'll just be a PvE perk? I'm really hoping it works in PvP. If it doesn't work in PvP, I'll be disappointed.
I am too, just from a pure utilization standpoint, because I feel like if it's not, then basically you take that whole option just out of the PvP build right there, and then you'd be rolling, Hungering Blade or whatever else.
But isn't Hungering Blade going to be the better option anyway? Because you get your health back, correct?
Yeah, I think Hungering Blade is normally the better option, but the potential for the clip. I'm a
right.
clip man. Clip with a P.
I mean, if it's the difference between you start getting that health back, but you kill somebody before they can take the damage to kill you anyways, just depends on how quick you are, I guess.
And well, they have a little bit further range on their hit detection for their melee, so that's kind of cool.
So, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Alright, now to the final subclass of the Hunters, Night Stalker. Let's see, their Skip Grenade got nerfed, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the damage impulses per second reduced to 10 from 5, or from 5 to 10.
The Spike Grenade got buffed, or it didn't get buffed or nerfed, it just got changed, because the damage is the same.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Actually, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead and just
the Spike Grenade damage impulses per second reduced to 5 from 10, and the damage per impulse was also increased by 100%. So the total damage is unchanged.
Yeah, so they're basically just making them more like the Striker Spike Grenade, or the Lightning Grenade, I mean. Like, the Hunter Spike Grenade was pretty much unused, except by a very small portion of either people who didn't know how to use it or really good PvP players who swore by it. So it's like kind of a toss-up. It's hard to say whether it was really good or not, but at least now it'll be a little bit less easy to see it right there all the time. There was just a big stream of purple right in your face.
Yeah.
There's no way you could miss it.
Now, we know James, you're the Night Stalker, master. Will you be switching to Spike Grenade from your Void Wall?
Nah, nah, definitely not. I haven't done a whole lot of testing, but I can do it in like 5 seconds. Actually, I can do it right now. I'm just gonna slide out of here and go check and see how it works. Right now, I haven't looked at it. Want to see if it actually pulses. Nope. Nope, it's still just a big purple stupid ass stream. It looks like the side of a little girl's bicycle handlebar. I'm tired of it and I don't like it.
Alright, so on to the next change, which I'm sure you're happy about because I think you raged a couple of times in trials about this. Shadow Shot not killing the enemy when they have their super right away, or at least suppressing their super, and them killing you with...
Yeah, the suppression.
Yes.
The
So,
suppression
that
happens
was just the
instantaneously now.
Yep. So
And
now...
I'm so excited about that. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am about the initial suppression effect. That needed to happen so long ago. That should have been in the game originally,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it's here now. I'm not going to be salty about it not being there before. Just glad that we have it. I don't have to waste my fucking time.
Yeah, because they would shoot with golden, or have golden, you would shoot the bow, and then they'd still be able to kill you.
The thing is, too, like with Blade Dance, like, if I shot near them, that time that it took to activate, they would just kill me. And then they would get tethered, and I'm just sitting there looking at my ghost with my dick in my hand, wondering how the fuck we got here. Yeah,
Now,
I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. I wish
this
it
one-
killed. I honestly wish it just killed them. I wish it just one-shot whatever super you were in. Maybe not Armor of Light Titans, but I think any other super, I think if you get direct hit with a bow, you should just die.
yes.
Because the bow is going to A, take you out of super anyway, and B, it's going to take away almost all of your health regardless, so I think you might as well just push it the extra mile and just let it kill.
Now,
Like, bow is a counter super. Fist is a counter super, and it kills any super, so why can't bow?
yeah, it's kind of like Nova Bomb. It's, if you can get the timing off correctly and not whiff and kill yourself, is a counter super.
Right, yeah.
I feel like
mean,
you're
I don't
saying
have to
that in
worry
case
about
I
killing
said
myself
something.
with feather.
I had to cover all
feel
my
like
grounds.
Oh shit, Evan's still in the party?
Alright, so now on to what I think is probably the second most important change to the Night Stalker, I would say, would be the smoke grenades. And their impact damage was
Big change
increased by 34%. The impact suppression and damage over the time duration reduced by 1 second. Jump suppression removed from initial impact, which I have liked that a lot. Thank you. Base smoke cloud duration is increased by 1 second, and your little perk that makes it last longer is increased by 1%.
Yeah. Yep, 1 second on that one too.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. The smoke grenade change isn't really going to be too big of a deal, aside from the fact that you can jump out of it now. That's going to be something that we have to deal with. But I'm pretty sure it still stops you from sprinting, and it still takes away your radar, so there's that.
And can you throw grenades while in there?
No. I don't
No.
think so. Or
So
is that just suppression? Actually, I don't know.
I'm not 100% on that.
I'll
but
have to test that.
yeah, I said I think that's the second biggest hit to the Night Stalkers, just because now people will be able to get out of your smoke a little easier. So you might not be able to do the wombo combo as easily on them.
That fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not as easily. But to be honest with you, like, the wombo combo was a pretty easy thing to do. So adding a little bit more of a skill factor to it is not that big of a deal. And it's not even really a skill factor, it's kind of like a luck factor. The skill insofar as that you have to hit the initial bomb
Smoke.
on them. Yeah, to get the full damage. But aside from that, like, if you weren't hitting your initial bombs on them most of the time, you weren't getting your wombo combo to kill them anyway. Because if they're not smoked, they're not going to stand in a void wall grenade unless they're a fucking lemming. like everyone sees that shit on the floor. You're not just gonna be like, "Derp, let me stand in the
Yeah.
purple fire."
Now this brings me to, I think, the biggest hit to Night Stalkers, and it's the perk changes. Not all of them, but just one in particular, and it's the Shade Step is moved to a single dodge on a 3-second cooldown. I don't know what the cooldown was before or anything, but the way I'm reading it, it seems like it's gonna hurt shade stepping shotties.
Can you come look at me real quick? So this is how short the shade step cooldown is now. I can jump and double jump and immediately shade step again. Jump, double jump, and immediately shade step again. It literally
You just can't shade step twice in a row.
That's
yeah,
right. That's the difference.
It dealt nearly no hit to me as a Night Stalker. Maybe other Night Stalkers who have trouble with not chaining slides and things like that. It's just part of the subclass you got to get used to. You got to chain your slides. You got to be ready to use something other than shade step for a few seconds and then use shade step again. And in this new shade step era, I can see a lot of people are probably going to be looking like they're teabagging and shit, trying to shade step again, and they're not going to be able to. But
That's why
have to get used to sliding instead of stepping.
That's why I'm gonna like this nerf to it. I guess you want to call it. It's not really a huge nerf, but they're not gonna be able to double shade step, like shotgun shade step, shotgun you. I think it's a little more balanced.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good, but it's a little more balanced.
Like I said, I can shade step and then double jump, and by the time I land, my shade step is already off cooldown, and I can do it an infinite amount of times.
You know, that's gonna, everyone's gonna have to do that now. Like, we're gonna have to get used to doing that, but that gives people the chance to shoot you while you're in your double jump. So it's not like you can evade twice in a row. It's almost as if, like,
that's true.
Shade Step was like the old Blink, where you can blink really quick and just, you know, dodge twice very quickly. So I'm happy that they did that, because I hate running into Shade Steps in trials.
It's hard to play against. It's a frustrating style to play against. I'm not gonna lie and say that it wasn't overpowered to have 2 in a row. You know, I shade stepped a lot. Not so much that I think it needed to be like heavily nerfed, but I don't think it was heavily nerfed. I think it was just changed, just slightly changed. I really don't see this as that big of a deal.
And the Twilight Garrison also got this same nerf included onto it.
Yeah, Twilight Garrison is super hard to play against for strikers, or for Titans. Any Titan who is really good with the mobility and really fast. They were very, very frustrating class to play against with the Twilight Garrison, because they could position themselves quicker than any other class could position themselves, and in a way that no one else could do. And that was kind of like, and I'm saying that as, you know, as someone who just defended Shade Step, but Titans are already faster than me as a hunter, and Shade Step was kind of my way of being able to counteract how fast they could rush into my face. I could kind of confuse them a little bit, and I can still do that. Titans are just gonna have to wait a second, land, and run for a second before they Twilight Garrison again.
Alright, now here's some other perk changes to Night Stalker. Courage of the Pack now increases recovery, armor, and agility by 2 per stack. Courage of the Pack now stacks 3 times.
Finally.
Lockdown increases smoke duration by 2 seconds, plus an additional 2 seconds with snare upgrade. So I don't know how long smokes will last now. And Predator now reduces the cooldown of the Shadow Shot ability.
Pause. Yeah, we were at 13 minutes. Why won't it let me save? No. Why won't you let me save?
How many grasps have you guys gotten?
I got one. You guys have each got like 2 or 3.
What?